What to do, what the business is. Trash talk in the finish. We about to. Nah, I got nothing. Welcome to another episode of Trash Talk with Bobby and Shyne. That's your host, Bobby. I'm Shyne. I am the host. You are correct. Thanks, Bobby. I'm trying to put up. Did you see that one? It was Jimmy Kimmel, my man, made a beat live with a little teacup.
I did see that.
I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to do something like that. Like all of a sudden, it's a catchy intro because I done came out freestyling, trash talk with Bobby and Shyne all the time. Keep it on the line. What's on your mind? See, bam, there it is. Bars.
That was booty.
Look, you mind your business. Hey, listen. You ready? You ready to get into this UFC? Was it 280? UFC 280?
Man. Best card they ever put on this whole year right here. We're gonna get into that later on. We're gonna get into that. Man.
We talked this card up too. We talked this card.
It was top heavy.
We talked this card up. But without further ado, let's take a look at some of the results that went on. So these were the main three fights. Not gonna lie to you. These were the main three fights. Then you got the preliminary card, which Bilal Muhammad versus Sean Brady was everything we said it was gonna be. Whenever we even thought it was the damn third fight on the card, remember?
Yeah.
We thought it was
it should have been.
We thought it was a main event. And then the co-main event, and then it was this. We was like, "Yo, it's gonna be some smoke in the ceiling."
It should have been top four. It should have been top four.
But it's all right. It's cool. You know,
it's cool though. It's cool.
Gotta. Where's it at? Let me pull it up. It was for when we started the main card. Decision. Bilal Muhammad with the KO.
Oh yeah.
And people was talking about
TKO
with the TKO. But decision. I was like, man, look, that's a lot of decisions for 2:00 in the afternoon. I got something to say about that before we start. So I now understand the internet in its entirety. There's a little fly flying around my face. So y'all see me flying. I don't want to fly in my eye. I understand the internet as an entirety. You could never win, right?
Yeah.
You can never win. Because what did we say a couple months ago? First thing we said, man, these pay-per-views go on too damn late.
Yeah, man. It'd be midnight before you even get to see anything.
Before you can get to the main event. And I'm like, man, this is too much. So then they started having those Fox cards where the main card started 8 o'clock and the damn show good and done by like 10. Guess how many of them I seen?
0. None
of them. Missed every one of them. A, I either went, damn, ain't nobody tell me that it was supposed to start, or B, it's too early and I had shit to do.
I don't think the advertising is very good, but go ahead.
So then you get to this. Let me pull this up in case somebody's on this chat. Then you get to this card in particular, and it's like, all right, so it's a Saturday. You can have your Saturday night, right? You have your whole Saturday night. Prelim start at 10 a.m. Main card start at 2. So even if you sleep late, you can still catch the main card at 2 o'clock.
Man, hell yeah.
Guess what I got to do at 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
Work?
Shit. I got shit to do, man.
Yep.
Do you know how inconvenient this card was? But I watched it anyway.
Very inconvenient for a card that was supposed to be the top card of the year.
So the only thing that I can say is they go back to 11 o'clock co-main event, 12 o'clock main event, and I'm just going to not be happy about that. I'm never going to be happy. So that's how the internet works. In my job, we made an announcement that everybody been complaining about for the past 20 years. We changed tables. We got the best tables that are made. We got diamonds. Everybody's still complaining about it. And I'm just over here like, man, look, I guess you can't please everybody.
No, you can't.
And that's how I am. I'm like, Hey, man, they need to not have it at 11, 12 o'clock. All right, we'll change it. We'll put it at 8. Not right there. 2? Not right there.
A little too early.
One
That's
FC be like
primetime TV.
One FC be like 5 in the morning. Not right there. Well, what time? Well, I don't know. I don't know what time, but like
just a little bit before midnight.
Just a little. Just like 30 minutes. That's all I asked. 30 minutes. So look, we get into Caitlin Chukagian fight. We're just gonna skip that one. Benil Dariush is slept on as a lightweight so much. That man can absolutely fight. He is slept on so much as a fighter. He's not born.
He doesn't have any charisma.
They just don't get behind him because he's in the
doesn't have charisma.
But they don't push him because he's not in the top. That's why.
He does not have charisma.
That man can fight. I'm telling you.
Man,
that man
if I needed someone on my team to go and fight somebody in the alley, I will go get him. But if I needed somebody on my team to go in the bar and talk shit to everybody and then fight, I will go get somebody else.
Okay. I'm with you. So then we get to the what I like to dub the bread and butter of this whole situation.
Oh, the juice. Got to get to the juice.
And I would like to start first and foremost to extend my humblest apology to Sean O'Malley and his camp.
To me, motherfucker. That's who you need to apologize to, because I told you this motherfucker was real.
Hey, look, how am I supposed to believe this though?
I told you it was real. I told you. That's why you believe me, because I told you.
And I need y'all to understand. Sean O'Malley didn't win that fight.
Look, whoa.
Sean O'Malley didn't win that fight.
Whoa.
But
when you put the fight in someone else's hands,
you probably just toss up a coin anyway. That's what they doing.
Yeah, exactly. So if you go and win a fight, you need to go in there and you need to knock the other person out, or choke them out, or do whatever you need to do to get out of that fight. Win without putting it in somebody else's hand. So that's all I'm gonna say about that situation. But go ahead.
Sean O'Malley did not win that fight.
I feel like he got the first and third.
How?
I feel like he had most control. I feel like in the first round, Peter came out sluggish. Yeah, he finally got something going there at the end of the first round. So I feel like in the eyes of the judges, because I feel the same way you do, but I'm looking at it in the perspective of the judges. In the eyes of the judges, the first round was given to O'Malley. And then the third round, I feel like the third round was given to O'Malley as well. Second, you could say that even though each individual got a good head shot off and somebody went to sleep for a couple seconds, the second round was Peter Yan because he has ground control, most of ground control. But I believe what you're saying too. I feel like the first round went to Peter. I feel like the second round went to Peter. And I feel like the third went to O'Malley if I was judging. But in the judge's eyes, I could see for the first 3 to 4 minutes of the first round that O'Malley controlled the center of the octagon and he was landing the most punches. That's all I'm going to say. But go ahead with your analysis of why O'Malley did not win this fight. Go ahead. Even though he did.
And bruh, they said, O'Malley, you won the fight. How do you feel? He said, well, that's what he said in the camera in front of everybody. He said, hey man, it wasn't even the same charisma. But look, from the words of a wise man, everybody I talk to, they name Bobby. I swear to God, you can make a case because that's all we do. They give us the result. We all make a bunch of cases. We all debate it, and we all feel wonderful. You can make a case that Petr Yan won all 3 rounds. You can make more of a case for that than you could Sugar Sean O'Malley winning a split decision.
I don't know.
I can make a case for 30-27 more then I can make a case for them giving Sean O'Malley that fight.
Man, I can make a case 29-28, and I just did.
Call. It was the wrong call. Every time O'Malley got something going, he gave it back. Every time he clips him. You see Jan, oh, he's on skates. Meep, hit him with a couple, and then bow, knocked his ass behind the wash machine. He down. He on top. He surviving. Right? Right? Oh, he hit him first. Like, how you gonna make a case? What? Every time he had success, he gave it back. Now,
I mean, I see what you're saying. But I also see that in the first round that O'Malley had the most control throughout the whole first round. He was landing the most punches throughout the first round. And if it wasn't for the takedowns from Piotr in the first round, then you couldn't give that first round to O'Malley. I really do like the way the judge did it though, because most of the times when you watching a fight and you see somebody get taken down and it's an even matchup standing up, or one person has more of a one side than the other, and then you see the takedown, it's like, oh shit, he got the damn round now because he got a takedown.
See, it's not that though. It's not. I feel like, and I've always wanted a little bit more from the judging per se. So they got there, but the way they got there was flawed. So instead of taking a left turn, they accidentally took 3 right turns and still got to the same spot, if that makes sense. Because of the idea that if you take me down, that should score. It's mixed martial arts for a reason. If I immediately get back up, that should retroactively score against what you've just scored.
Or negate it.
Not negate. Because should I then score for stuffing a takedown? So you can't negate it. I still took you down. But if you were able to get back up, like Benil Dariush, that man would get a takedown shot on him, roll underneath for a leg lock, do all this other stuff, and now he's back to his feet. Okay, well, did he get taken down? I mean, yeah, but he's back to his feet now. He rolled for a leg lock. He was acting on the ground. He did a lot of stuff. So it shouldn't count as much as a couple of those times you can see Sean O'Malley concede the position is what he did. So if you concede the position, hell yeah, that should score. And Piotr Jan, being the top athlete that he was, scored at the right times. You know, Sean O'Malley, he got that takedown, 4 seconds? That shit was smooth, too. I ain't even gonna lie. That shit was smooth. When he shot him on the first round,
yeah,
and ducked under, got his back, that shit was smooth. But that's not the right time. You don't score nothing for that.
Oh, yeah, to an extent, I feel like you do, and I feel like that's what won of the round, because I feel like he took a point back for that, and also he had the control first round. I'm just saying in general.
You just said black and white from the way they just have to look at it. From the way they just have to look at it. That's what
I'm looking at.
Okay.
Yes, I'm looking at black and white, and then I'm also looking at that third round when he put that knee to that forehead or that underneath that eye and opened it up. I'm looking at that as well. I'm looking at the fact that Piotr Jan, when he came out of that fight, he was not unscathed. He had bruises and cuts and openings and places, and he was limping here and there. So I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying that damage wise, I feel like O'Malley did the most damage per se. Okay. I don't think Piotr Jan did as much damage as O'Malley did to him.
So maybe O'Malley doesn't cut that well. Maybe O'Malley, because that I can argue that left hand when he had him, O'Malley was in more danger when he ate that. What was it, left hook? When he ate that left hook from Jan,
he ate it flush too.
He was in more danger in that moment than Jan ever was the whole fight.
Oh, no!
I thought that was
O'Malley.
it.
O'Malley caught him with a left hand as well.
Yeah, but he was still backing up and he was catching them. There
was some cobwebs in there for at least 30, 45 seconds.
Yeah, but he spun Charlotte's Web on his ass when he hit him. I don't actually know how Charlotte's Web ended. Somebody probably died. Probably wasn't a great.
I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie.
All
I didn't read the
all I
book.
know is this puts O'Malley in a different atmosphere.
Here's the thing. Bobby. O'Malley is elite, and you can no longer take that away from him.
No.
You can't call him out for anything except for the fact that I'm pretty sure you called me and said that like maybe his tank needs to have a little bit more. But
that's the only thing I didn't like about it. That's the only thing I didn't like about him.
He knows that now. The ability the only way I can sort of break it down for fighters and how to look at it is the ability for him to do multiple things at a time is what gets you over the edge. So he's in there, he's throwing, he's sitting down on his punches, he's feinting, he's stuffing shots, defending, and then as soon as he gets up, just like the coaches and stuff, Steve used to say, as soon as you get back up, you right back on him, you make him pay. As soon as he got up from a takedown, he had to expend energy and he got right back on Jan. That's some elite shit. A lot of people go, whew, all right, I got up, yay. And that's where, like, you know, the Habib style wrestling tends to overwhelm people. But O'Malley said, nah, I'm up, let's fight, and walked right back at him. That was impressive. The man is here.
Man, I've been saying the man is here for a long time now.
Yeah, when we seen it?
I seen it in the fights that he was in. I've been saying that O'Malley is that guy. He's that dude because of the physical abilities that he has, and the fact that he's so tall at that weight and his reach is so long at that weight. I feel like he has the physical tangibles that puts him in a different boat than most fighters do, especially at the way he fights at. And for us to not see some of the things that he can do that people have been talking about, he's been talking about, the jiu-jitsu and things like that, he has so many question marks to answer that put me in a boat where I was excited about seeing him in a matchup like this. And you know, the biggest matchup that I would love to see him in, if Dana allows this to happen, I would like to see him up against Aljamain Sterling, because you know what? Styles make fights, and their two styles suck. Their two styles are horrible.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. Aljamain Sterling would probably walk through Sean O'Malley at this point.
That's what everyone would say, and he'd probably be a plus 700 underdog because of that. But
I'm gonna bet the underdog.
I'm gonna let everyone know now that O'Malley has something that you have not seen yet, and he's going to show it to you pretty soon. And if Dana White puts that fight up, and I feel like Aljamain's going to come in and his head going to be bigger than what it needs to be, because he's going to feel like O'Malley doesn't deserve the title shot, and he may come in and underestimate him. I hear what you're saying, man, but when you look at an opponent and you feel like they're inferior to you, the training part of it comes about, and you don't train as hard or you don't do as hard as you need to in the 3 months leading up to the fight, and then you come in and you think this is going to be an easy one. I'm telling you right now, O'Malley is not an easy win. And that guy's going to come in and he's going to prove to the world that he's something that everyone thinks he's not. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
I wholeheartedly disagree, but I do not disagree with your point. Your point actually is sound, and I would make a case for that point against maybe Petr Yan. If he won the fight, I could see Aljamain coming in with that mentality of not training and stuff like that. Sean O'Malley, who is on this path to the title, albeit, you know, some of it was a little given to him. You know, maybe it's not deserved because he ain't ranked that high. But Aljamain Sterling is not going to get ran over by that train. He is not going to take that fight easy. I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
Saying.
And Aljamain Sterling is a big dude for this weight class. I'm pretty sure it's going to be overwhelming. Now, here's the thing. If they can take the same route that they did for a Conor McGregor, kind of, sort of, then when he arrives at, Aljamain Sterling, I could see him Jose Aldo in his ass. If they send him to him, let's say, did Aljamain Sterling break his hand in this fight or break his foot? Then maybe you could make a case. Because now it's going to be a long timeline. And O'Malley's going to put the time in because whenever this fight was over, this could have been the best thing that ever happened to him in a sense that he won a fight that he probably shouldn't have won, and he saw things and he was in trouble, and there's things he needs to fix. And at this point, I believe it. He's going to fix it. I believe it. I'm on board. But if it's a 6 months from now fight, there's no way he does it in time. There's no way. He'd have to spend $1 million like Makhachev does. You know,
I mean, with the new endorsement he has coming in, it's a possibility.
It is a possibility. Now, here's the thing. I know the answer to this, so I'll just say I'm not even going to ask it as a question because the question would have been: is Sean O'Malley the next Conor McGregor? But in the history of everybody who was great, is there any great that you said they were the next somebody before him? LeBron was LeBron. Jordan was Jordan. Yeah. You know, Kobe was Kobe. You know, Anderson Silva was Anderson Silva. You know, in the history of nothing, we ain't never said somebody's going to be the next somebody, and it actually panned out. And plus, they don't have he doesn't have that mystic that Conor had. You know, my man was telling me, he said, Conor called his own shots.
Yeah, he doesn't have that.
I'm gonna knock him out in the first. O'Malley ain't doing that.
No, he doesn't have that.
Does O'Malley have the entire United States behind him? Like we all gonna fly to Ireland for his fight?
No,
I don't think so.
No.
So O'Malley might be the next John Jones.
He's a star. No, I think he'd be better than John Jones because I don't. I feel like
John?
Yeah, I feel like he's already pulling just as much as John right now, I think. Because John ain't fight. He ain't pulling that. But no, I'm just saying.
Shitter, get off the pot.
Exactly. Hopefully John Jones gets back into the cage later on this year. I've heard some rumors about December, him coming back in and fighting. But who knows, man? John Jones is training. I don't know who he's training for, but he's training for somebody.
Yeah. I will give O'Malley his credit, though. We're 23 minutes into the show. Barring my 1 minute intro, 2 minutes to talk about some other stuff. We spent about 20 minutes on O'Malley. We could probably spend another 20 minutes. We're not gonna, but the man is a talking point. The man is a talking point. I'd rather talk about that than this next fight that we got coming up. Aljamain Sterling versus Tilly Dills, who robbed the bantamweight division. Absolutely. Did you hear any of that transpired? So he came out and they're like, okay, cool. And that first takedown happened. They was like, something's wrong because he was wincing. And that's fine. Then it was later revealed to us that the referee said, hey, so like, if you see me kind of without a shoulder, it's cool. Don't stop the fight. I pop that thing back in. So that means that this was a prior injury. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Prior injuries happen. Freak accidents happen. The show must go on. You agree? Okay. That's fine. Now, you get to the point where he didn't work out. You know, he didn't have any media day. None of that. Okay, that's cool. They know about it. I need you to understand this first and foremost. There are no snitches in TJ Dillashaw's camp.
None.
Them boys is eyes
Quiet.
wide shut, boy. I want friends like that. There ain't no snitches in TJ Dillashaw's camp.
None.
Now, but that's all.
Because
cool.
I know Shyne snitch on me in a day. Heartbeat. But go ahead with your comment.
I tell everybody, even the neighbors, reach up in the sky for the ozone layer. Look, now, that's all well and good. It's all that. And then he says on the mic, and this is where I have a problem. Do you know when he said he dislocated his shoulder?
When?
April.
That's before the fight got in put together.
That's 6 months ago. Yo, he finessed us this whole time. I'm sorry. Talking
He
about
knew he
I'm
was gonna
sorry
lose.
for holding up the division. That was a paycheck grabber.
We could
2
have.
weeks,
So,
2 weeks
here's
before the fight, he's got his
here's the
last
thing.
hard camp. He hurts his shoulder. The show must go on. He's not pulling out. That's fine. April, bro, just don't sign the contract. What you doing?
Shyne, we could have got Volkanovski. No, we could. No, we
No,
can't.
he
Never mind.
45.
No, we
He
can't.
fighting for the 55 belt, ain't he?
Yeah.
We would have got maybe the return of what's Demon Woman name? Henry Cejudo, maybe.
So here's the thing. We could have got Piotr Jan again.
Yep.
I feel like that would have been a better fight.
Yep. Yo, he
And
said,
then they could have found O'Malley another fight.
another fight.
And it'd been just as good.
The Cheeto Vera rematch.
That would have been even better.
The Cheeto
They're
Vera
robbing
rematch.
me of a
I still
title
would
fight
have
that
been.
I
I
thought
still would
was
have been doubting, but that would have been the slow move process that you needed for O'Malley.
I mean, all I need is dubs, so I can keep proving myself right.
Throw it up. But look, my man in April signed a contract. I was wondering why he only signed it with his left hand. I'm kidding. But signed a contract and then proceeded to finesse everybody. At this point, like, how can you be on his side?
That's fighting for a paycheck right there, ain't it?
That is the absolute definition of fighting for a paycheck. Now, here's the thing. It's 3 weeks before the fight. Your last hard, sparring session, you hurt your shoulder, but you not pulling out of this fight. Bro, I understand that.
Yeah.
Well, I 100% understand that. You cut weight, something happens. I understand that. But you mean to tell me you did a whole camp with one arm when you could have just been like, hey, man, y'all just go it on and I'll catch y'all on the flip.
Do you think that is one of those things where if he would have dropped out of the fight, then he would have cut himself pay wise with the UFC?
I mean, of course, yeah, it would have affected his pay because he's not fighting for a title and all, and that's all well and good. But here's the thing: where is he gonna go from now after this smash and grab? Where do we want to see TJ Dillashaw? Do we even care if he fights again?
No.
So you go on the opposite spectrum and you still got the idea that everybody's like, TJ Dillashaw is that man. He's going to come in and he's going to do like he did to Dominic Cruz. He's going to do like he did to Cody Garbrandt. And he's going to come back and he's going to redeem himself. And he's going to do it with two arms. You still got that looking at you, even if you pull out. It's not even pull out. Just don't sign the contract. Like, what you mean?
True.
Bro, I dislocated my shoulder.
I feel like there's two ways that you can cheat the UFC. And one way is to take some supplements that you're not supposed to be taking to enhance your performance. And the other way is to keep information to yourself that leads to the organization not having the promotion that they should have had.
I know D Weezy mad.
I feel like that is cheating in itself. And once a cheater, always a cheater. And as you can see, he's cheated in the past and
allegedly.
He cheats again.
Wait, is it allegedly?
Whatever.
Is it allegedly?
He took the 2-year suspension. Was it 2 years or 1 year?
I'm pretty sure he called 2 years.
And then he didn't say anything about it. He just took it. So that's admitting guilt right there. He didn't.
Accordingly.
That's admitting guilt. So that was on him. He did it. So I feel like they should cut his ties with him, with the UFC, and go ahead and send him to Bellator or somewhere else and say, I'll holler at you, pimpin'. You got your couple million.
Hey, you got your monies, didn't you? Go ahead on about your business. Yep.
I think that's the only division in UFC that can live without him.
So, the question is, before we get to the next fight, because we're going to a different weight class, where do we go from here? Is Aljamain Sterling versus O'Malley the fight to make? Or is
Yeah.
Aljamain Sterling versus Marlon Chito Vera? Because Chito Vera is ranked higher.
Or is it Aljamain Sterling versus Volkanovski, which they had that opportunity in the ring? Oh
no. That was Makhachev.
That's the next one. That's the next one.
Volkanovski's going up.
My bad.
Yeah, Volkanovski's going up, not down. I'm with you because shit, he could go down. No, because wasn't he like 250 pounds?
No, he's too big. He's too big for that.
He's too big. Yeah, he's too big for that. But so he could not going down. The only person that would have went up from 125 is Cejudo, which was still on the wing. So
Cejudo looks like that drunk uncle that yells at people at every individual match. So I can whoop your ass.
So you saying he looks like Conor McGregor?
Well, yeah, now, yeah. Yeah.
Shots fired. So, okay. Aljamain Sterling. I think Aljamain Sterling versus a Cejudo or Marlon Chito Vera. If we don't get him versus Chito Vera, I honestly feel like
Chito Vera don't deserve
like
shit.
4. He like 4.
Don't give a shit. He don't deserve that.
He like 4.
I don't care.
He like
does
4,
not
though.
deserve it.
Let's see. What's new, pussycat? Whoa. 5. He's 5.
No.
Piotr Jan's going to drop from the number 1 contender. And then you got Sean O'Malley all the way down at 11.
He should be a top 5, though.
Even if he jumps in top 5, he's not going to be higher than Marlon Vera.
I hope he does.
And Sandhagen and Marab, Dillashaw, he going to fall. So we could possibly be looking at a number 3 Marlon Vera and maybe number 5 O'Malley. Still, I still felt like that Dominic Cruz fight would have been, that's the thing about O'Malley is if we go O'Malley versus Piotr Jan, yeah, we got it, whatever. But then we take a step back and we go O'Malley versus Dominic Cruz.
He washes his ass.
And that's what I'm saying. And then
Drake
we go
murders his ass.
And then we go to rematch O'Malley versus Chito Vera.
I feel like he murders him too.
That's fine. But you get those incremental steps to where now, once you get to the final boss that is Aljamain Sterling, you got a complete fighter. I don't think he can complete himself.
I feel like he jumped a couple steps in this last fight, though. He jumped a couple steps, and he understands where he needs to be at to fight those top tier fighters. I don't think he knows just yet what is needed to be a champion. So hopefully he gets tested in his next fight if it's not Aljamain, and then from there he gets that opportunity. And then when that opportunity does come, he can capitalize. Let's just put it that way.
I wonder what fighter jumped everybody. And it turns out he was legit. I don't know any fighters that have done that. Makhachev, he was 4. Let's get into
Conor
that
McGregor
fight.
did it.
Conor McGregor didn't jump everybody.
Conor McGregor jumped.
No, he beat the number 1 contender.
Conor McGregor came out of,
he beat Chad Mendez.
To me, Conor McGregor came out of nowhere. He used his talk game to put him in a position to get that fight. And whenever he got that fight, he capitalized and did something that most people don't do when they get title fights or number 1 contender fights like that, which is knock opponents out or win in the decisive fashion.
What? He got into the UFC, started talking shit. It was like, okay, well, he gonna put him up with somebody. Well, they gave him Diego Brandao. Well, that was Diego Brandao because they went to Ireland and all this, that, and the other. He gonna need somebody, so they gave him the gatekeeper. They gave him Dennis Seaver, and we're like, okay, well, he beat Dennis Seaver. Okay, well, he need this, and this. So then they gave him, even before then, he fought Max Holloway before Max Holloway was Max Holloway, but still, that goes back to being a quality win. You get all this, and then you get to the fight was scheduled, and then I guess it got switched. But he fights the number 1 contender in Chad Mendez. Then he goes on to beat the final boss. You got Sean O'Malley who kind of started from the bottom. Now here, that same progression would be him going through Dominic Cruz, Chito Vera.
Yeah.
Then Piotr.
Well, I mean, O'Malley started from the bottom. Now the whole fucking team here But I'm just saying. I just want to throw that in there.
I didn't even have a point. I just want to throw that in there. Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. I think that's how you say it. We're gonna say Makhachev though.
Islam showed me something this fight, man.
Of
It
all,
showed me.
I was about to
It showed
say
me
that.
a lot.
I was gonna toss that up for you. Of
He showed me a lot.
all the ways you saw a fight going,
That was not how I thought that fight was gonna go.
was that the way?
No, I mean,
Not at all.
I thought from Oliveira's point of view, I thought that's how he was going to do the fight. I thought he was going to come into the fight pressuring Islam to see if he had what it takes to be in a fight of that magnitude. What I didn't like from Oliveira's side is that he kept poking the beast. He kept poking the beast. And then what I did not like about Oliveira as well was the fact of the matter was where I thought he had an advantage at, he didn't have the advantage. It was like even. It was like 50-50 or 60-40 his way. That stand-up game, I thought Oliveira, after fighting the opponents he's fought in the last 3 fights, the Dustin Poiriers, the Michael Chandlers, who are more stand-up opponents and not actual takedown opponents who will stand and bang. I thought those fights would put him in a position to be better in that part of the game when it comes to that fight. Yeah. And he wasn't, and he got caught. And when he got caught, he got pushed to a position where it was an advantage for Islam, and Islam went and choked shit out of him, and then Oliveira taps.
So here's the thing. You don't see the fight going that way because you thought that there was going to be some push and then some pull, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, you close your eyes and you're watching the fight and you're like, ooh, 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 ooh. But then you get done with the fight and you think back at it and you can honestly say these words. Islam Makhachev was never in trouble.
Never.
At no point during this fight was he not in control.
He was always in control the whole fight.
Oliveira pulled guard. He was not in trouble. During the striking exchanges, he may have eaten something, but he was catching Oliveira.
Yes. Caught him 3 or 4 times.
You got those wrestling exchanges where it's like, oh, okay, oh, shit, don't leave your neck. Oh, you know that? Okay, cool. Well, don't, oh, you know that too? Okay, cool. Well, do you, boo-boo? That's what $1 million would get. That shit blew my mind that they spent $1 million getting this man ready for this fight. And it showed every penny.
It felt like Islam was more acclimated to the environment. It felt like Oliveira wasn't. It seemed like the eye surgery. It seemed like him getting 20/20 vision and seeing those punches at HD really affected him. I don't understand what was going on. It's the same punches that he's received in the past, and it just affected him a lot more this time.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
so look, you got bruh, one submission attempt.
Yeah.
Makhachev had one submission attempt. He only had one. That's all he needed. And everybody's like, he submitted the guy with the most submissions in the UFC. That's fine. And then Habib out here. Oh, disrespectful ass motherfucker. First off, let us believe what we gonna believe. Don't be calling us out like that. We like. All right. So everybody, please let me know. Trash talk with Shyne. How's that sound? Does that sound good? Cause Bobby ain't gonna make it. Or should I change the name completely? Anyway, like I said, he said, how you gonna say you a jiu-jitsu expert if you've been submitted in the UFC like 8 times? I was like, I don't know. He played the game, man. Habib, stop bullshit. And then all of a sudden, it becomes apparent that there's levels to this shit.
A lot of levels.
Here's the question. Let's look at this. Let's look at the resume first and foremost, right? And then I'm gonna they now put rumored fights up. You see that?
What's the rumor fight?
Alexander Volkanovski. Remember he announced that the winner of that fight is gonna fight Alexander Volkanovski. Okay, that's cool. Well, let's get to, let's get the wins at the top. He to get here, he beat Drew Dober, Thiago Moises. He beat Dan Hooker. He beat Bobby King Green, and then he beat Charles Oliveira. Right?
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
No.
There are so many fights after the belt.
Oh yeah, he got Dustin Poirier. He got
than it is before the belt.
Yeah, he got Dustin Poirier. He got Michael Chandler. He got Conor McGregor.
Gaethje,
he got
McGregor.
Gaethje. He got
Darius
Oliveira again.
Hell, he ain't fought Dos Anjos. He ain't fought none of these people, right?
He got Volkanovski. He got
my man.
The list goes on about the opportunities that we have in this division.
Okay, so now here comes that next question, the $1 million question when it comes to that. So we got options, right? And everything sounds good.
Yeah.
The question is, does he lose any of those fights?
From what I've seen, though, it's going to be hard because he has something that most of those fighters don't have, is the pressure on the ground and that wrestling. It's just crazy how he can put you in a position you can't get out of it. So from that point of view, I don't see anyone else beating him, because I thought Oliveira would have the best chance to do it because he has that jiu-jitsu. And it's like you said earlier, it seemed like Islam didn't even have any,
not a single
issue in that fight. And Oliveira is very dangerous on the ground, standing up or whatever. And you've seen it in his last 3 fights.
So you look at this, right? You look at this. You got Islam Makhachev, right? And you just look at this list and you say, oh, he has the belt. And then you say title defenses. And you go down this list again. We're gonna start moving into like a GOAT territory if he doesn't lose, because you got all of these are title defenses. Let's count them out. Poirier, Gaethje, Oliveira probably is gonna get another crack at it. Chandler, if Chandler gets some dubs, I don't know how long Dos Anjos will be around, but Connor's gonna talk his way into something.
I want Conor to talk his way into an ass whoop, but I want him to do
talk
it.
His way. Bruh, how about a monkey wrench? He goes out there and sleeps him.
That'd be even better.
He goes out there and sleeps him, and Habib jumps over the cage, and they gotta hold him back.
Shit to Habib,
and they gotta hold him back, and Habib comes out of retirement. Hey, Habib, look every bit of 195. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That'd be like a movie, man. Is this your what is the movie saying?
Is this your king?
Is this your king? Yeah,
is this your king? Bruh. But you make the case because you got all these other people that had to do that when they got there. The only person that did this in the beginning was Oliveira. Everybody else fought the fights, got the belt, and then was like, oh, there's not much in the division. This man has the belt convincingly and a whole fresh slew of fighters for us to throw at him.
Oh man, that's gonna be great.
In this lightweight. And they're not even really going to cannibalize each other because they already fought each other. We know where they stand.
It's going to be great, man. It's going to be wonderful.
Then he's going to go to 170 and fight Leon Edwards. Just kidding. What we got coming up? Let's talk about what's coming up before we get out of here.
I know we got one fight coming up. I just seen it. I think it's, let me go back and look. I got it.
You got Calvin Kattar versus Arlen Allen.
No, we got something better. We got Whitaker versus Costa.
Oh yeah,
UFC 284. That's in February.
Sleeper fight on this card. I'm gonna skip the rest of it. But the Dirty Bird Tim Mees versus Max Griffin, fucking sleeper fight. That should have been. I bet if they had that fight on this card, things would be a lot different. Wouldn't have been so top heavy. But I get it. Share the love. Share the love.
Mm.
Let's see. Oh, man. Oh, you can't see it. Thug Nasty. Fight cancel. He's supposed to fight November 5th.
That sucks,
why.
man.
It doesn't say why. I'm not going to look it up. So you talking about UFC 281?
284.
No, we got 281, and you talking about 284. Okay, so we might got a couple cards coming up. November the 12th, Adesanya, Alex Pereira, Carlos Esparza, Weili Zhang. That's a strawweight. That's title fight, ain't it? Yeah. She the champ. Dustin Poirier fighting Michael Chandler. Gonna be some smoke in the ceiling. Daddy Frankie. Did I just give him the best nickname ever?
You said Daddy Frankie?
Like Daddy Yankee, but it's
Daddy Frankie.
Daddy Frankie. Rompe. Anyway, Dan Hooker fighting. So look, everybody, what is it? November the 12th? That's a month from now. Everybody fighting, and we about to have another clear picture. Dustin Poirier goes out there and beats Michael Chandler. We got Dustin Poirier's in the mix. Michael Chandler goes out there and beats Dustin Poirier. Chandler's in the mix. Dan Hooker trying to make the comeback. He might have to fight again. Daddy Frankie.
That's all we need right there.
We just
parity.
want to see him fight.
We just want a parity.
Hey, man, this is going to be a good card. This is what I thought this last card was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights from top to bottom of people that we were like, all right, I'm there. You said 284, right? Derek Lewis is fighting. Didn't know that.
My guy.
Didn't know that. UFC 282, Jiri and Glover. They announced it was the Robbie Santiago Ponzinibbio fight. Paddy Pimblett's fighting. Yeah. Again, we say next Connor, so therefore I don't think that that's going to be a thing.
As long as Paddy's not fighting in New York, where they're going to take some of his money because of taxes, we good. They don't like them taxes.
I don't see 284 on this list, so we'll.
Well, I just seen the card got announced. Not the card, but that fight has got announced like last week or so.
Bobby Knuckles versus who again? Paulo Costa?
No. It's Whitaker versus Costa.
Robert Whitaker.
Oh, Bobby Knuckles, yeah.
Bobby Knuckles.
Yeah, Bobby Knuckles.
You know he doesn't even like that nickname.
I know.
He like, yo, I'm the Reaper. I'm like, nah, homie, you Bobby Knuckles.
Bobby Knuckles, man.
You Bobby Knuckles, man. For real. That's gonna be a good fight.
It is gonna be a good fight.
I'm interested to see what the card will be on that. And then by the time that fight happens, Adesanya and Pereira would have already fought. Hot take before we got here. You change your mind on that fight? Who winning?
Who?
Adesanya Pereira.
Hell no. I think Adesanya comes in, whoops his ass.
Murder Death Killers levels to this shit. I like it.
I feel like levels to this shit. Hey, another hot take right here. I feel like O'Malley's next fight is the 5-round fight.
It'll be a main event. He'll fight up a main event from here on
I
out.
feel like it's gonna be a 5-round non-title Cheeto Bear fight to get him ready for the title fight if he ever gets there.
Blicky Blah, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby gonna hit you with those dubs.
Bang 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 bang.
No. Mm-mm.
No, it didn't stick.
Mm-mm.
Oh my bad. Sorry.
All right, pause.
Just because you don't like it, don't mean the fans don't.
Hey, look, I said we did a lot of living. The fans might like it, but you cringe on the inside every time.
I didn't cringe at all.
That's because you got a good poker face today. What else you got, Bob?
That's all I got, man.
I'm overall, I'm happy about this card.
Yeah, man. It was good. It was a good card. It was a good card. We got cheated though. We got cheated. Cheated himself. Cheated us. Could have had a better co-main event, but the cheater himself cheated us again. I told you I didn't like that motherfucker for a reason. That's why I don't like him, because he's a cheater.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. And look, it's been real now.
It's always real, man.
It's been good.
It's been good tonight.
But it ain't been real good.
Never that.
Look, we're going to come back next time. We can't stay so long.
I holla.
Peace.